From the time settlers arrived in the area in 1861 through the turn of the century, there was no hospital in southwestern Utah. Life expectancy at the time was very low. In fact, half of all the children born in the area at the time did not survive to adulthood. Then, on July 8, 1913, Dr. Frank Woodbury and Dr. Donald McGregor opened a hospital on 100 East in St. George.
Now, a hospital is simply a room where you do surgery and some recovery rooms. And they had access to a house right in the middle of downtown, and they opened a hospital. And it had 4 beds in it, plus 6 recovery rooms, and a surgery room and a dental office.
The McGregor Hospital was built to, quote, sanitary standards. It would have had more plumbing inside, more places to wash your hands than a normal home would have. It had fresh air. Back then, it was very small, but all the rooms would have had large windows that could be opened.
By the end of the 1940s, McGregor Hospital was showing signs of age and was no longer able to meet the needs of the community. The county commission agreed to build a new 30-bed hospital. The Dixie Pioneer Memorial Hospital began treating patients on August 2, 1952.
We took care of everything from the ER to surgery to OB in those days. There was one long linoleum hall. So you could stand at one end in the ER, where the ER doors were, and you could see clear down to OB. There was a small little offshoot with some 6-bed wards that patients would be in. There were no private rooms. All of the rooms were double or men's or women's wards.
That hospital obviously didn't have very many modern things. I remember bringing the first chest tube here, the first blood gas machine, things which we all take for granted today, but it still met the needs.
By 1969, the Dixie Pioneer Memorial Hospital was unable to meet the demands of the quickly growing community. It was decided that a new hospital would be built adjacent to the existing facility. It would have 65 patient beds and the ability to expand as the community grew. The new Dixie Medical Center opened in December of 1975.
And the county at the time was having a considerable amount of growth by then. The Bloomington subdivision was in effect, and we were not lacking for business at the completion of the hospital.
In 1974, while Dixie Medical Center was still under construction, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints announced its plans to divest its healthcare network. Intermountain Healthcare Incorporated was formed as a nonprofit healthcare organization and assumed ownership of the church's 15 hospitals.
The board members came into their assignment absolutely determined that they were going to help make this a model healthcare system that would offer health care at a very attractive cost to patients, and also have a real focus on quality and try to be a model for the nation and maybe even the world.
The Washington County Commission knew that they did not have the resources to fund future expansions to the hospital. They also knew that they did not have any expertise in hospital management. They decided to sell Dixie Medical Center to the newly formed Intermountain Healthcare in 1976.
Became a great deal for the county, became a good deal for Intermountain Healthcare, and it became a tremendous deal for us because Intermountain Healthcare had both the expertise and the money to help us expand and stay ahead of the expansion of our community.
The county commissioners deserve a great vote of thanks that could see forward enough ahead and use their positions to get what we got in this valley.
Many specialists were added to the hospital's medical staff in the 1970s and 80s, and the hospital grew physically broader and taller through a series of expansions.
Back in the mid-70s, as specialization started to become more prevalent throughout the nation, many communities that had just family physicians actively resisted that. I mean, that was a big threat for some family docs to have specialists. And our physicians back then, they were nervous about it too, but they accepted it and even embraced it. I mean, they helped recruit specialists into the community because it was the right thing to do for their patients. And that has made a huge difference, and that attitude has continued through to this day.
A cancer center was added to the hospital in 1985. At the time, it was named the smallest fully accredited cancer center in the nation.
The establishment of the cancer center elevated our capability beyond primary care and truly was the first giant step towards becoming a regional medical center.
Because the hospital was now serving patients from throughout the region, its name was changed to Dixie Regional Medical Center in 1990. It continued to grow until there was no room left to expand at the 400 East location. Land was secured on River Road, and plans were made to build a second campus of the medical center.
We hired a consulting firm who came in, and when they delivered their report to us, they said, never in our wildest dreams would we ever raise more than $2.5 million. So we took that proposal, or their report, to the foundation board, and the board approved it unanimously -1, and that was me. So I said, pardon me, oh hell, we can raise $10 million. And they blew my mind away when everybody said, okay. So that became our goal. And it turned from a $90 million hospital to a $100 million hospital, from a very good hospital to an exceptional one.
The community ended up contributing $11.7 million for the construction of the new hospital campus. Ground was broken in 2001, and the Dixie Regional Medical Center River Road campus opened on November 24, 2003. The hospital's first open heart surgery was performed 2 weeks later. The 400 East campus was remodeled, and more services were added there, including acute rehabilitation, hyperbaric oxygen therapy, and a newborn intensive care unit.
Another area that may not get as much attention as the open heart surgery is the neonatal intensive care unit. And having that is big, not just because of the numbers represented, but because of how disruptive that is to families. When we fly an open heart patient out, I mean, that was a big deal, and they were typically in the hospital somewhere for 3 or 4 days, back home in a week. But when you fly a baby up, they may be in the NICU for a month. And typically there are other small children in the household, and so the family is split for a month or more, you know, with a parent trying to be up in Salt Lake and a parent trying to be down here taking care of the other children. So the NICU's made a tremendous difference for our community.
The hospital continued to expand with the opening of the Dixie Regional Health and Performance Center in 2009. Southern Utah's first Life Flight helicopter was added in 2011. And the hospital's neurosciences program was substantially expanded in 2012. The hospital continues to expand to better meet the needs of the community.
That is what's great to me, is because it's a full-service hospital. It's also a community that stands behind the hospital, and they try to give us and deliver us the highest level of service. They can take care of all the things that we have, and they're even expanding into the neurosurgery and being able to become a level 2 trauma hospital. That says a lot to this community, and it gives us a lot of ammunition when we're out there trying to recruit businesses and tell people, you know, not only are we in the best community, it's shown not just by us, but it's shown by the businesses that we have here.
And I don't know that people understand or appreciate the quality that we have right here. They don't only save lives, which a hospital will do, but they increase the quality of lives here in southern Utah.
For many years, patients had to be sent elsewhere to receive treatment for even basic medical care. Today, Dixie Regional Medical Center is one of the top-rated hospitals in the nation, and patients are being sent here for their medical needs.
I can have a building, I can have the best technology in the world that can do amazing things, but none of that happens without people. So I have to have absolutely fantastic physicians, and I have to have absolutely fantastic employees that make a difference, and we do.